So for real healing to happen, it is extremely necessary for us to face what the issue is, rather than trying to repress it, or rather than trying to escape from that or withdraw from that particular situation. You know, emotions are something. Emotions, they just need one thing, and that's our attention. The more you don't give the emotions your attention, it will keep on pointing back to you. It will keep on appearing and again to seek your attention. But the moment you give it that attention, it kind of becomes easier for us to be able to manage or regulate those emotions that we've been having. Then the other myth that circulates around us, that it is important to be strong in the face of loss. I think during the second wave of COVID, all of us, or most of us, would have experienced some form of grief or loss in our lives, right? Losing our loved ones, losing our close ones. There was a lot of grief that had been happening during that particular point of time. And it's a common myth that is accepted that if you have faced any loss in your life, be it of a person, be it of a loved one, be it of any particular job in that sense, people expect you, people tell you, okay, you have to be strong, right? You don't have to cry. Crying means you're weak, but that is not the scenario. Crying is a very healthy, stress-releasing emotion. So if it is okay for you to cry, if you're feeling overwhelmed by any particular situation, and if you cry in front of your loved one or somebody with whom you feel close to or attached to, it does not mean you're weak. It just means that you are processing your emotions and you're expressing your pain and grief towards it. Do not try to act normal. Do not try to act very strong in front or in the situation when there's loss. It actually makes things very difficult for a person to be able to deal with. That I don't have to cry because if my family sees me crying, they would feel weak. But that does not happen. You and your family have a shared loss. And if you cry in front of them, it will only make them feel acceptable that yes, you also acknowledge that pain. It kind of gives them the courage to share their pain with somebody. So instead of hiding your true feelings, it is okay for you to express whatever you are feeling. Then moving on with your life means forgetting about your life, about your loss. It is so often said that don't advise me to move on. You don't know how difficult it is to move on. We can understand how difficult it is. But the more we accept the loss, it is not same as just forgetting. Accepting that the person is no longer there, or accepting that void has been created in my life, does not mean that we are being dismissive towards the loved one, or we are dismissive towards a partner, or moving on from an unhealthy relationship. It doesn't mean that you don't value them. It doesn't mean that you've not been a good partner or you've not been a good human, right? It just means that you're trying to cope with things and you're retaining their memories in their heart, right? So it is very important. So moving on only means acceptance. It does not mean denial. It does not mean forgetting.